socials. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are around the world. Welcome, welcome to another glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale. We are vibing this afternoon. Let me ask you a question. Let's start this with a question. Hello, welcome in. Welcome to another glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale. Let me ask you a question. How's the sound? I'm vibing. I'm vibing. It's so good to see each and I feel like I haven't been here. Was I here last week? Oh yes, I was. I feel like every single week I feel like I just haven't seen you guys in a long time or haven't been on here in a minute, but I come here weekly every Wednesday, 12 p.m. or so, 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever responded to an email or a message or even a situation, you reacted in a way that a couple of minutes later you're like, that wasn't my best moment. Maybe I shouldn't have done that or said that or emailed that or send a response in all caps. Maybe I shouldn't. I have. I have. And any human being that I know has, in one way, shape, or form. Me too. I've done it. And here's the truth. Emotional intelligence isn't new. But the world we're leading today, it is. It is. It's completely different. The world we are leading today is completely different. It's different from the time your grandparents, your parents, and even you, if you are more than 15 years old, it's a different world today. So that's what we're unpacking. We're unpacking what has changed as it relates to emotional intelligence, and why does it matter to you? Why should you care? Why should you care? Especially now more than ever. Emotional intelligence, which is also known as EQ, has been around for decades, largely popularized back in the 28th century by Dr. Daniel Goleman. He's considered the godfather at this point in time of emotional intelligence, but he wasn't the one that developed it. It goes way back than that. EQ has seen it's as been known as a nice to have. It's been known as a something that make a manager interact and manage people better. It's been seen as a soft skill. But today, oh no. Today, it determines whether you can function effectively or not. Welcome. Hello, Jesus Marcano 159. Welcome to a glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale. So what's the number one thing that has changed? Speed. The world we're living in, speed. That is what has changed. We are moving faster more than ever. From the time that your grandparents or growing up to today, where you're living, completely different. This emails, Slack, Teams meeting, text messages, Zoom, everything is instant. Microwave, instant. We want it quick. We want it now. It's my money and I want it now. Everything isn't Everything is instant. Everything. You get your Uber now. You know, everything is now. But here's the truth: your emotion don't process as speed at the same speed of your inbox. Your emotions don't go that fast. On average, we process about 400 plus emotions on an average person on an average day process about 400 emotions a day. You didn't think so, eh? I know, but you do. Think about the last time you got an email that annoyed you or a text message from someone that annoyed you and you pause. Now imagine replying immediately versus waiting 10 minutes for your subconscious, for yourself to calm down. That 10 minutes, that's emotional intelligence. That's why there's a saying that they say count to 10 before you respond to something, or count to 10 before you reply to something. Because today, emotional intelligence is not just awareness, it's real time regulation in real time, right now. The second thing that has changed, apart from speed being the number one, is that emotional overload. I am speaking with a leader recently that he said, my team isn't performing like they used to. But when we kind of start to unpack it, hi, welcome in, Lilu, welcome into a glimpse of growth. We're talking about emotional intelligence, what has changed, where we are as a human race. And I'll give you some, give me some stats of why it's important to you and why you should try to develop it, aim to develop it. And when I spoke to this leader and we start to unpack it, it wasn't about, he said that his team is not performing like they used to. In reality, the team wasn't just dealing with work, they were dealing with life. And what does life include? Family stress, financial pressure, grief, burnout, weddings, just life. And they were underperforming, but they were also overloaded. And the expectation of you expecting that human being, that person, to go from grief to putting out 100% performance. Our emotions don't go that fast. We need time to process them. People are no longer bringing just their skills to work. Not anymore. They're bringing their whole lives to work. And leaders, you're human too. You're not just managing tasks and people that are doing those tasks anymore. You're managing human complexity at scale. And the quicker you wrap your head around that, the faster you're going to be able to understand the people that you are leading. Okay, so let me turn this sound down just a little bit. So the third thing that has changed is authority. Authority has shifted. Before, leadership was like A remote control. Do this, move that, fix that, come here, go there, because I said so. Now, that's not the case. Leadership is more like Wi Fi today. You can't see it, but people can definitely feel it. And emotional intelligence is a signal. If the connection is weak, nothing works. I'll say that again. Emotional intelligence, leadership today is like Wi-Fi. You can't see it. You can't see the Wi-Fi, but people can feel it because things are working. Emotional intelligence is the signal, right? It's the signal. And if that connection is weak or severed or broken, disconnected, nothing will work. Nothing in the house will work. Your internet on your phone, the internet, it will not work. Welcome, Love Cake 1982. I love that name. Lipa, welcome in. So, you as a leader, this right now is a pivotal moment in our society where you can leverage emotional intelligence and use it for your leadership to enhance it, to make yourself better first, right? Increasing your self awareness, and then extending that to bring others along and impacting their lives. So here's some data, right? For those out there that are all about the numbers. According to Gallup, the latest State of Global Workplace report says that global engagement is declining. Stress levels, they're going up. And many employees feel disconnected at work. What does that mean, Dr. Dale? That means people are showing up, but they're not fully there. You know, guys seen those zombies movies? They're going through the motions. People always try to call me when I'm live. Why is that? Why is that, people? Why? Stop doing it. So here are three takeaways, right? If engagement is dropping, that means that only 1 in 5 employees globally are engaged. So 5 employees in that office, 1 of them is guaranteed to be disengaged or guaranteed to be engaged. All the other 4 are not. That's not a skill problem, manager. That's a connection problem. Going back to that Wi-Fi connection. Number 2, another takeaway from that Gallup report. Managers are under pressure. I didn't forget you guys, managers, because the report is there. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're live here on TikTok as well, you guys. Managers are under pressure. Managers, you manager, I'm speaking to you now. You are experiencing some of the highest levels of stress. Your employees are stressed. You're also human, I said earlier. You're also stressed. And you as the manager, based on that Gallup report, you account for 70% of the team engagement. Did you hear that? 70%. So if the leader, you manager, if you are overwhelmed, that means the culture will feel the same. Let that sink in. And then number 3, well-being is struggling. Well-being, employees' well-being is struggling. This is now the manager, the employee, and if both of those people, they're all humans, if they're struggling with their well-being, guess what's going to happen? Daily stress, emotional strain, lack of support. People aren't just tired from work. They're tired. They're tired at work. They aren't just tired from work, stuff that are going on at work. They're tired from while they're at work. So that means, I said earlier, they're bringing all of their selves to work. And you can't tell them, don't bring that stuff here and expect that to fix the problem. You're just putting a band-aid over a wound without disinfecting it, without giving it its proper care. It needs some cortisone. It needs some Vaseline. It needs to be cleansed with, I don't know, saline, water, and alcohol. You got to take care of it so that it can heal properly. Right? And this is why emotional intelligence matters more than ever to you, to all of us. Because when engagement is low, stress is high, and connection is severed or weak. You can't lead with just strategy. You can't. If that's what you're doing, you need to stop, because you're not making it any better. You're not making it any better. Okay? And you need to make it better. You have to lead with awareness, emotional intelligence, self-awareness. Not just look on the surface of what you think is going on. There's so much more going on. My pastor, when husband and I had got married, he said, don't only when you have arguments, because arguments were guaranteed. When he was coaching us, he said, there are going to be stuff going on, and you're going to want to jump to conclusions, and you're going to want to assume things. But he said, don't just look at what is going on, what you actually see with your eye, what you perceive, also look at what's under the surface of what's actually happening that your physical eye cannot see. So I say that to you, manager. I say that to you, employee. I say this to you, human being. Look at all of your life, at work, at home, at church, at school, and try to figure out. Don't jump to conclusions about what the situation is. If you're going to jump to conclusion, also give yourself the hindsight 2020 in real time. Don't wait until, man, if I'd known more, if I'd understood it better, if I had just taken my time. Actually do that now. Jean Robert, all right, welcome in. Do that now. Don't wait for you to look back on it and said, man, if I had just known. Know now and assume. Give yourself the opportunity to look at it from, not assume, but look at it from other perspectives. You jump to your conclusion and you see what you see by reacting to whatever that situation is, right? Also give yourself the option to look at it from the other person's perspective, right? Going back to the example that I said about my pastor, what is really going on under the surface that you maybe can't see with your physical eye. And so, because before we, before what before we did, what do you do? What do you know? Now you have to move that from what do you know to how do you show up under pressure with emotional intelligence. You have to go from skills got you hired, now emotional capacity will keep you effective. But it will only keep you effective if you're actually using it. And if you actually, I talk to the leaders that I coach all the time, and I say, the number one rule here is that we're not a library. What does that mean? What do I mean by that? I mean, we don't sit here and collect information, collect knowledge. We do something with that knowledge. We are our action-based community. And if you're not here to take action and real with yourself and honest with yourself and actually do the hard things, then you are doing your future self a disservice. Vin Jiang, a communication specialist leader, he says, don't be so attached to the current version of you that you do not give your future version a chance. That means that the things that you did and how you thought and how you jumped to conclusions and what you said and the reacting and the not regulating yourself and not trying to understand other people's perspective, that's the old you. And if you want to sit with that person and live with that person permanently, you are doing your future self a disservice. Today, emotional intelligence looks like pausing before reacting. It looks like naming your emotions instead of running away from them, instead of acting them out, trying to figure out why did I feel that way when they said that, when he said that in that situation, so that way you can heal from it. Because there's always much more going on than the surface level stuff. Giving feedback without breaking trust. That's what emotional intelligence look like. Setting boundaries without disconnecting that relationship or severing that relationship. There's a way to do it. You don't just cut people off unless that's what you want to do. But if your aim in that relationship is to draw closer together, is to level up that relationship and grow and understanding each other, that's going to require you doing things a little bit different than you used to. That's going to require you listening to understand, not just to respond, not just to jump to conclusion, not just to get your words out. Because communication is not just the words coming out of your mouth. Communication is so much more, so much more. So another example could be if someone misses a deadline, the old response would be, you dropped the ball again? I used to be in so many workplaces, you guys, and I used to see so many things. I'm sure you guys as well. You guys have as well. Instead of saying you dropped the ball again or you missed that deadline again or you're late again, you say, hey, I noticed that you're the deadline, or you didn't come in on time, or you missed it, or you didn't show up. What's going on there? What's getting in the way of you showing up on time or you completing those deadlines that I'm seeing that we're missing? What's getting in the way? You imagine that? versus you drop the ball again, gives you a completely different feeling. Which one would you rather someone says to you? Hey, what's getting in the way of you missing this deadline, these deadlines? Versus, I can't believe you're late again. Like, seriously? It's a different feeling, right? It's the same thing, same truth, just different impact, right? One shuts people down, the other one opens them up. You want to open up and find out the why so that way you can work it out, so that way they can maybe not be late anymore and actually fix the problem and meet them where they are. That's what it all comes down to, just meeting people where they are. And I believe that in my experience, in our world today, we somehow are less human more than ever. Humanity, if you just lead with humanity, being human and remembering that folks are going to get it wrong. They're not always going to have the answer. And the question is, and because that's there's it's not a black and white, it's not right and wrong. There's so many grays in the middle of the black before you get to the white and before you get to the black. How are you responding? Give other people the opportunity to correct their wrongs, to coach them, to mentor them, to advise them. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you so much. I love that. Oh, thank you. So here's something that you can practice. The next time you feel triggered, the next time someone says something, let me put in a caveat here. You know, if someone says something that bothered you, it's not the other person's fault or issue. It's your issue. Did you know that? Did you know that? Sit with that. Don't come for me. Sit with it. If that bothered you, what I said just now bothered you, that right there is an opportunity for you to find out why that bothered you. Of course, if somebody is disrespecting you and cursing at you, yelling at you, I'm not doing any of those things. I am just here sharing my intelligence, my expertise. I studied emotional intelligence in the workplace. This is me. This is what I do. I love it. And I don't just talk about it, I live it. Ask the people that are nearest to me. So the next time you feel triggered, pause. Oh, I know that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. It's going to be hard. Listen to what I'm saying. I feel you. It's going to be hard. But one thing it is not is impossible. It is hard, but not impossible. I was attending a training by a Maxwell trainer. I think it was Chris Robinson. And he said, no one writes a biography about an average person. No one writes a biography about an average person. What is an average person? They go through the motions. They go to their 9 to 5. They have their kids. They get married. And they continue to be unregulated. They continue to not grow themselves. They continue. If that is working for you, I've said all this on my podcast all the time. If you like it, Dr. Dale loves it for you. But if you want more out of life, if you want to give more, if you want to do more, if you want to be more and help more people and be really impactful, it starts with you making that shift today. It starts with you giving your future version a chance with what decision you make today. So the next time you feel triggered, pause. Name it. Stop, sit with it. Why did this bother me? And then you say, like every day I wake up in the morning, That's one of the questions. Like, how do you feel today? Oh, I feel blessed. So I check in with myself first. If I feel frustrated, then I have to figure out, why do I feel frustrated? Oh, I feel frustrated because that thing yesterday did not go right. So I brought whatever happened yesterday into today. And that will work for no one. Right? You see, you start it by figuring out where you are from a baseline standpoint, and then you move forward. But if you start with the old stuff, bringing whatever happened years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, all of those issues, and you have anger and you refuse to not forgive people, and continue to hold on and not let go, and just continue to push people away, and lean into your pain, and just continue to hurt yourself and hurt others, and all of that stuff, you are, it's like a, what is the song? I forgot the song. Bag Lady. You know which lady I'm talking about. You know that song, Bag Lady. You're carrying around all that stuff with you on your back, and that gets heavy. It is heavy. And the thing about it is that half the time, the people that you are vexed at, or mad about, or frustrated with, or not talking, you are carrying them around with you in your head. They are living rented free in your head, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. Why are you giving them that opportunity? Stop. Stop. If you're not going to tell them, if you don't want to develop that relationship and rekindle it and fix it or reconnect, you're going to have to deal with it. So name it, pause, name it, ask yourself, why am I feeling frustrated? I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling stressed. Because once you name it, this is what happens. You are no longer being driven by it. That's why it's important for you to get aware of how you are feeling. That's why. So I'm closing now. We're winding down. And I want to leave you with this. Emotional intelligence isn't about controlling your emotions. It's not. It's about understanding them enough to choose your own response and not allow them, the emotions that you are feeling, to rule you, to decide for you. You are using your logical brain. For those out there thinking emotional intelligence is a soft skill, you're using your logical brain and say, I am frustrated right now. And because I'm frustrated, I am not going to reply to that email. I'll come back to it in 30 minutes after I have gone for a walk, or after I have calmed myself down. That's it. That's emotional intelligence, right? So let me leave you with this. Emotional intelligence used to make you a better leader. Today, it determines whether you can lead at all. Because we're moving so fast, because we're carrying so much, and because we're literally connecting differently. And in this world today, it's not just about what you know, it's about how you show up. And folks, if you think people can't read it, if you think people can't feel it, if you think people are not watching you, my friend, think again, because they are. So I ask you, go sit with yourself, give yourself some time. How are you showing up? And when it matters, how are you showing up when it matters? When your wife needs something, when your kids need something, when you need to reply to someone that you care about, when you reply to someone at work, how are you showing up when it matters? And how are you consolidating when you get it wrong? And that's why you should care about emotional intelligence. This world today requires emotional capacity. So continue to be significant. And I'll see you guys next week on another glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.